All righty. So this is our board meeting for April 21st, our second quarter meeting. Excuse me. Like I said, Becky's not able to be with us tonight. We do have a quorum with the three of us out of four, so we're okay. So the first thing is the treasurer's report. Did everybody get a chance to review it?
When did
I'm
you
looking
send it
for
out? Did I say?
Uh, I sent it, I think, on Sunday.
Okay, I'm
Uh,
sorry. No, I didn't get a chance to. Oh,
okay, so
so okay.
So bottom line is we brought in $3,751. We spent $3,500. So we actually had money in the pocket as of the first of the month at $251, which is now, of course, gone because all the bills came in on the first. We at least closed the quarter out with some money. So that was a good thing. Ernie, did you get a chance to see it?
Yeah, I took a look at it. I'm looking for it again in my email box to put it back up. But I don't recall having any comments when I first read it.
Yeah.
It's just we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. But we're still doing better than last year, so that's the good
Yeah.
thing. Um, and I broke everything down in income by like book sales, the film festival, the Lone Star fees, the memberships, the other things that we do. All of that is broken down in there and stuff like that. So one of the things that helped us this quarter was the Texas Indie Day promotion. That brought in $350. So that was a nice little extra that we got. The Voices of America didn't bring in as much as I was hoping for, but it's okay. We did our thing, and so the book's getting published or being released on June 4th. I've already sent the copies out to the winners and stuff like that, so that's already done. Only one winner hasn't gotten his yet. Um, Otherwise, we're in good shape for that perspective. As far as membership goes, we gained two members. One of them was a free grant, and another one was a paid. So we're at 47 members, which is still pretty much equal to where we've been. So nothing new there. Uh, okay, so the Lone Star Festival, as everybody knows, it finally got set on the date of October 16th through the 18th, which was a little frustrating because the hotel forgot to tell me when they first moved it that they were increasing the rate to double because of the F1 race. So we had to move it again to protect the costs and everything. So everybody's scheduled as of October 16th through the 18th. We still need some classes. If you were going to do a class, I need to get your information so we can get it added into the website because we're starting the promotion period. We have a new sponsorship program. Second, I'll pull that up. It is set up through a company that is called Sponsor Pitch, where they list companies that are looking to sponsor events. You make your pitch to them, and then hopefully you hear back from them one way or the other. I've sent out over a dozen pitches and have not heard back from anybody at this point. Um, I redid the sponsor package, which you should received in the email on Monday, so that you saw that. And feel free to use that if you know anybody that's got a business that wants to be a sponsor. Feel free to send that to them. We need as much money coming in for this as we can. Um, we've got about 40 people signed up for the event currently, which I'm happy. We're actually increased our number of artists, so that was good. And of course, the film festival is picking up a little bit steam, which I didn't expect a lot from it this first year. But we're moving along well with that, and we're still accepting the entries for the um, screenplay. So that will continue all the way until September. So hopefully that'll pick up as well and stuff like that. So things are moving along overall, but the frustration with the city. I sent you copies of two letters. Once a month.
You're breaking up, Alan.
Huh? I'm sorry.
I said you were breaking up a little bit.
Unfortunately, it's the Wi-Fi. Um,
Is
what I
it too
said was
late? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I sent a letter to the city manager in March. I got a response from somebody, but they dropped the ball and didn't get the correct email address to send us the link. So I sent a second letter to the city council this time, hoping that we can get some action going. But I actually did not deliver it yet because I did get a call from the person, the city entertainment division. We have a scheduled meeting on the 30th of April with her and the director of the library. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that, but it's scheduled and we'll see what happens. And I'll keep you posted as well once we do. Ernie, you had a question?
Yeah, is it too late to make any suggestions on the sponsor package?
No, feel free. Email it to me so that I
Well,
can
um, it's pretty
review it.
simple. It's one of the headings I thought should have been worded uh, a little better. It says why sponsors should pay attention, and
Uh-huh.
I think that might rankle some feathers. Instead of saying why sponsors should care, might be a little softer, a little friendlier, and not uh,
Not as hard.
not seem. Yeah, yeah, it might be friendlier, but it's not that
Let
big a
me
deal.
find it.
Why sponsors should pay attention? I think we should have said why sponsors should care,
Mm.
because you're assuming they're not paying attention, I guess, or they might take it that way.
Right. All right. That was an easy fix I can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that,
Anything
looks good
else?
to me. Now the prices for sponsorship packages, well, they're pretty high.
Well, we
You know,
have it starts at $500.
yeah,
Which if you think about it, that covers their vendor fee plus two dinner tickets to the banquet. So that
right.
really doesn't give us a whole lot more after that.
So I was looking at those prices. It seemed to be like, oh yeah, here we are, $1,000, $2,000, and $10,000. Uh,
Right.
not, I'm not seeing, believing that very many people are going to jump at that $10,000.
No, no.
No, most of them will probably be between 500 to 1,000. Like
Yeah,
HEB always has
yeah,
been doing 1,000 the last few years.
right.
But yeah, they pretty much 500 to 1,000.
Yeah,
But I have it in there in case we do happen to grab a hold of like Exxon or somebody who wants to
yeah,
be supportive. It's there
I see
for them.
that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's wishful thinking, as we say.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, we need some of that. We
yeah.
need some of those $10,000 sponsors, but
Be
that's
nice.
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, the grant, if we had gone, it would have been $50,000. Or
yeah,
I'm sorry, 40,000. And that would have covered all of our expenses.
Yeah.
So we could have actually done something really nice. But like I
yeah.
said, it didn't come through. And I've got the meeting with them on the 30th to see if we can change that or at least find some money from the city somewhere. If
Mhm.
that doesn't
That's good.
happen, I'll continue to push the city to say, look, we're doing our share, bringing people into town. You should step up and help us. So that's really what it
That
boils down to.
doesn't Austin have Arts Council?
Yeah, the Arts and Entertainment Council. That's one
Yeah,
of the people that I was have the meeting with on the 30th.
yeah. Maybe we get them on our side. That might
I'm
help.
hoping. I'm hoping because I reached out to them before I even started the grants, and
Yeah,
they turned us down, saying, "Well, you're not really something that we would invest in." And it's like, why not? Because we're bringing people in
Yeah.
and stuff.
that
But
works.
because we were not so much into the music aspect, is why we were not being considered.
Yeah,
So
Oh, okay.
the city, sees us as a live music capital, and so that's what they're focused on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm
well,
trying to change.
that's, that's just not fair because there's all kinds of other arts that
Hmm.
that need some backing as well.
Exactly.
and especially book authors. We're not getting much support from the city
Not a,
or
mm-mm.
at
Yeah.
all.
And, and that's what the letters are referring to is like, look, we've got more authors in the city of Austin than you do musicians. So you should be helping us. Plus, we're having to deal with the state, mandating that we follow certain laws that now affect our sales and stuff. So we need some support, some help. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to do with those letters is to get them to see the different side and
Would it,
understand.
would it help if some of your board members came up with you when you made your presentation just as a show of support?
If we get to a presentation, yes, by all means. Right now, it's just phone calls and emails.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'd be,
we get to something where we can present to like the city council,
yeah,
definitely.
That would be
And I'll
nice.
reach out to our members as well, and that live here in
right.
the Austin area.
That's right. And I'd be happy to do some of that if you needed me.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll keep you posted.
yeah, there's sometimes if you got more than just one person, it looks better, even if they don't say anything.
True.
Yep,
And
it's the
if we do
numbers.
go and you do get some members to go along with you, we probably need to rehearse what we're going to say and all of that before we get there. Uh,
Yeah.
that way we're one voice.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Okay. All right, like I said, I'll keep you posted as things go. And once the meeting happens on the 30th, I'll let you know the results and see where we,
Yeah,
excuse me, where we go from there. So, but yeah, you know me, I love sending you guys emails, keeping you up to date. So,
yeah. You do a good job at that. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you do.
thanks. All right. So, Voices of America, like I said, is coming out June 4th. We are doing 100 limited editions. 35 of them have already been sold. So we have 65 more of the limited editions. So we're
Nice.
taking pre-orders for that for now. So we'll see how that continues. Um, the 11th annual short story contest is continuing on. We've gotten a couple stories already for that, so we'll get more as it gets closer. Everybody loves signing up at the last minute for this one. It's been the norm for that and stuff. At the last meeting, we talked about touring Texas, going around to do events at
Yeah.
bookstores and stuff like that. Well, we were hoping for the money from the grant to help cover that expense, but since that didn't happen, we're kind of on a holding pattern for that. So it's going to be another year. It's actually worse this year because I don't have a car and I can't drive to small towns around me. So
Hmm.
I'm going to be seeing a lot less people this time around. So it's all about the social media, trying to build that up and getting people to respond to that and pushing when I can go to an event and stuff like that. I'm scheduled to be in Dallas in October, the weekend before our event. I was scheduled in Houston, but it was the same weekend once we switched the date, so I can't go there. But otherwise, that's all I've got at this time for those two, or just that event. So, um,
So
and the
you'll be
Dallas,
in Dallas on the 3rd, October 3rd.
the Dallas Writers Conference, I think it is. So I think it's the weekend before our event,
Okay. Because ours is the 17th.
16th and 17th, 18th, right?
Okay. So no, that's going to be October 10th then.
Yeah, I think that's it. And speaking of them, they would like us to sponsor their giveaway bags, which is $700, which we can do. We just have to pay it out over, a few months. But that would give us advertising on their bag. Denise, you remember being there last year.
Yeah, that
Um,
was nice.
it was a lot of people, but not all of them came to our table. But they gave away those bags that you saw them carrying around. Well, at least we'd have our name and information on the bag.
Hmm.
Hopefully that might help build us some membership, or program usage and stuff like that. So I'm kind of leaning to doing that. Like I said, we can spread the payment out and do what we need to. Um, what do you guys think about that?
If it's something we can afford, yeah, it was a good event.
Yeah. Ernie, what do you think?
I'd like to see us go back to more live events. I know
Yeah,
they're expensive and it takes a lot to promote them, but I think our membership was stronger and more. We had more membership, but we were at least having opportunities to go sell your books.
Hmm. Yeah, having that membership definitely helped us be able to do more events and stuff. And so that's something I have to definitely continue to work on is building back the membership. So, and it's hard because I mean, if you guys are on social media, you probably see all the authors talking to each other. Oh,
Oh,
do
God.
this and don't do that, and do this and don't do
Yeah.
that. And unfortunately, a lot of bad information continues to be put out there, which has been that way since social media came along.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
trying to help people through our marketing say, show them that getting tips and information off social media doesn't build your program, doesn't build your
No.
authorship. So I'm trying to help them see that they need to be a part of an organization in order to grow and to really
Yes.
move forward and stuff. So our membership prices are not that expensive. And we do have the grants when, for people who can't afford it, but we help them out with it. So, I mean, it's crazy for people not to be a member. It really is. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, I agree, and I was hoping our sponsor a member program last year would have resulted in some of those folks re-signing or signing back up for another year after they got a free year. But I don't know
Yeah,
that was that successful.
we only out of the two that got it, only one did. The other one didn't. So um,
Were there any
it's okay.
other Were there any other sponsors the people that
It was
sponsored
just you,
new members?
just you.
Me.
Yeah,
Well,
and I appreciate
I'm
it.
honored.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And that, from that we created that grant. Because that helps us also then with the grants with the city to show that we're giving back to the community.
Uh-huh.
So that's why we created that. And also we have grants for the LSF event as well too. There's a income level that they have to be under and all that stuff. But hopefully those things will end up helping us overall with the city. We'll see how it goes out. Yeah, participates. So
All
all right.
right.
Let's see what else. Um, so something I was hoping Becky would be here to talk about, unfortunately, like such as not, is our Texas bookshelf bookstore. Um, it's up and running. It costs me roughly $70 a month to maintain the website.
Mm.
But no one's taking advantage of it. No one's doing pre-orders on it. No one's selling I mean, we've got a lot of books on there. We've got, I think, 200 and plus books on there. Unfortunately, one of the bad parts about this particular website that I was hoping would change is you cannot sell the ebooks on there. You can't sell audiobooks on there. And when I originally signed up with them at the end of the year, I was understanding that by early spring they would have that availability. Well, I talked to him last weekend. He said, no, we're delaying it now until fall. Well, that doesn't help us because you guys know everybody loves their ebooks and want to get ebooks either for free or cheap or
Yeah.
easy
Yeah.
access. And without that, the bookstore doesn't mean anything unless there's something driving people to it.
Mhm.
So I'm going to look at another company to switch everything over to that can get us doing the ebooks because that's so important. We had a company last year that was working really well until the email system screwed up. And then we weren't able to do anything with them. So I'm going to try to go back to them and set up a separate email specifically for them that is a website based email like Alan at texasauthors.net and see if that will help. It was also a lot cheaper too. It was a one-time payment. I think at the time it was like $60, $70. So it might be 80 or 90 now. But one-time payment is a lot better than monthly. And was real easy to set up. And like I said, it allowed us to do the ebooks, allowed us to do audiobooks, allowed us to do paperback. So I'm thinking of switching it over, but I need to figure out a good campaign to get authors to do it. Excuse me, to, use us for pre-orders, to use us for special promotions and stuff like that. So that they make more money, but it also begins to drive business to us, and show us our value. Now, with that said, do you guys think it's worth it, or should we just drop it all together? What are your thoughts?
I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
If you make it simple enough that I can understand it, and if I
Please.
can understand it, everybody can. So, uh, but yeah, anything that's going to assist us in getting the books out there so people
Yes,
can see them, and the more people you get it in front of, the better chance you got at selling
true.
it. Which that's the big problem with indie authors is we can't get our books in front of enough people to make a difference. We do
Right.
onesies and twosies and
Yes.
friends and neighbors, and then once you do that long enough, your friends and neighbors start running every time they see you coming.
They because they think you're trying to sell them a book.
Yeah, I understand. Um, and the other thing too, for the purpose of the bookstore was to help authors make more money. And if we can get them off of Amazon or other sources to where they're actually making money, I think that will help them. But again, it's all about building that audience so that they can come and say, well, no one's following you, so why should I waste my time with you? Is where we're at. So I've got
That,
to work on that level as well.
yeah, it's that's the way it is, and cracking that nut's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But we got to
Yeah.
keep trying. That's all we got.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will do that. Um,
Thank you. If I can help in any way, let me know.
yeah, definitely. Um, let me check. I think that was everything that we needed to talk about. Um,
If
yep.
you run across a real good deal in terms of getting more exposure for our members, don't turn away just because of the fee. Just if you can't afford it, get in touch with me and I'll help. I'll help as much as I can.
I will definitely consider that. I know we're working on some things, um, different programs to try to change things, try to get more exposure and stuff like that. So I'm trying to see what we can do at the lowest possible price, of course.
Yeah,
But again, it comes back to getting those members. Without those members, it makes it really hard for us to be doing things.
right.
So we need to
There's a
build back that number.
I get a couple of emails a week sometimes from these book people.
Oh
Bookshelf.
God.
I don't know how we tie in with them and get them to to showcase some of our authors, but I guess they want an independent sign up from each author instead of focusing on an association or a group.
Right. I've checked into some of those when I get the emails too to find out, one, are they valid or are they scam? Half
Yeah,
of them at least are scams. The other half are so expensive that I know a lot of authors won't even bother with them. But
yeah,
I
You know,
do
Al,
check into
excuse
that.
me,
Yes, Dennis.
but you know what I'm saying? A lot of time, how do you identify which ones are legit and who's a scam? Because I get tons of those a day, and so all of them just look like they're just regular people saying I can help you promote your book. That would be something that we need to help authors with. How do you identify these scams?
that's right.
Uh, so a lot of them will repeat the same wording or just slightly alter the wording. And when you start seeing the same email from different people, you know it's a scam. So that's one of the key things. Then the other
Well,
aspect is, the book clubs. They'll say, I belong to such and such book club, Seattle Book
Yes.
Club, London Book Club. Those are all scams.
yeah,
Um, if they do not list your book title in their email, it's a scam.
Okay, no,
Okay.
Alan, they'll say, I just picked I just read your book, Blind Ambition, and I'm going, I don't see no sale for where you went, that we'll just read your book and we went, and they'll tell you about the characters in the book. And I'm going, so how do people know that that's not true?
well, they don't know
Uh,
it's not true.
They will list your book in their email.
But you
Right,
know,
and it'll cost you.
they could go to Amazon. If your cover's on Amazon, they copy what's on the blurb on the back of your book,
Right.
and then they turn that around and send it to you like, you got a great book and it should be number one seller, and why is it not selling as well as it should, and here's how we can help you, and here's where to
Yes.
send your money.
That's
And
Yeah,
they
that's
ain't worth a
yeah,
flip.
that's it, Ernie. That's exactly the email.
I see them
yeah,
all the time. They're
right.
not worth
And
a darn. You're going to send them your money and nothing's going to change.
yeah,
I even get them from other countries. This young telling me he gonna put me on Pinterest, and then he's gonna do all of these things, and then and you gonna send me $1,700. I'm going, no, I'm not.
Well, Alan, an idea, if we could find a legitimate one like the bookshelf, and I know they want individual members, so if we did a contest or like a uh, send in your story for the anthology, and we'll pick one winner, and the grand prize winner will get an annual membership to that particular group, whether it's bookshelf or somebody else. That might help.
that
And
could. We actually did that a couple of years ago with giving memberships away through our short story contest.
yeah,
Um,
but not our memberships. We need to give a membership away to some legitimate uh,
ouch.
group or company that will distribute or publicize the book for a year. And a bookshelf is the only one I can come to mind, but I get a dozen of them a week probably, from different uh, what they call aggregators
Right.
or uh, influencers. You know, I'd love to get on TikTok, and I've tried, but I can't figure it out. So some of these folks know how to do that, but you got to be a member. And so if we could offer, like, say, the next anthology, we'll pick one grand prize winner and get them signed up with whoever we decide is legitimate enough to make it worthwhile. That that
All right,
might
Ernie.
be
So I'm going to put the task on you.
okay.
You come up with three companies that you research and feel that are legitimate,
Okay.
and that can actually do the job. And at our next board meeting, you can bring them up to us and we can select one and we can add it as part of a promotion for the next anthology.
I think that's a good idea. And I don't know, what are we charging, $50 a story to enter the
Um,
anthology?
it's $40, but yeah,
$40.
yeah, it
So
may help us increase the anthology numbers as well, which is always something I've been wanting to do and stuff. So,
yeah, that might help a lot. I'll take that challenge on.
all righty. So you got 2.5 months to come up before the next board meeting. So,
Okay.
okay, let me jot
All
that
right.
down. All right. And is there anything else you guys can think of that we need to consider?
I
Um,
can't think of anything, Alan.
if I do, I'll send you a message on it. Not right now.
Okay. There's something I was going to ask. Ernie, you were going to give a class at the LSF, correct?
Yes, I haven't sent you the outline of that yet, but I will. Uh, I think it's going to be on character development or building suspense. Which would you
Okay.
rather?
Character development, because Becky did that last year, so it'd be good for you to give a different opinion this year.
Okay, all right.
Alan, you may just need to suggest something you want me to do because I promise you I can't think of nothing.
Um, yeah, I mean, if you want to do a class, we'll think of something. Um, we have two classes on AI. We have Marianne is hopefully coming back this year now that the date's changed. She'll do a class. Becky was going to do a class on something. It's on the website right now. Who's got committed?
Sound
Um,
like you got enough.
not
I think
enough.
Are these
I would
going to
love to
run
help.
one after the other, or are they all going to run at the same time? And you have to pick and choose which one you want.
One after the other.
Okay.
So
All
yeah,
right. I'll
there'll
get
be
something
gaps
together.
between.
That shouldn't be a problem, and we'll get something together and have handouts and everything.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, as soon as you can get that, I can get up on the website and you know be able to start promoting it as along with the other ones and stuff. Uh,
Okay. I'll put that on my
um,
to-do. I just wrote it down on my to-do list.
okay. And Denise, if you want to do a class, I'll think of something for you. But if you think of anything, let me know.
Okay, I'll try. Right now, I got a lot going on with family and everything, so right now I'm just kind of
All
out of
right.
it.
Yeah, don't worry about them. Because you know time flies by fast. So
It does.
all right. Well then that's it. Short, sweet, half-hour meeting. That's pretty good for us. Um, if you've got anything, feel free to email me. Like I said, once I have the meeting with them via telephone or Zoom on the 30th, I'll follow up with you guys and let all three of you know what's going on. If anything else comes up, I'll let you know. If you get a chance, fill out the survey that from the article that was in the newsletter today. We've gotten some response already, and over 60% of the people love the idea, love the concept, love to be able to pay for it if it's cheap enough. So I gotta figure that out. So
That's what about the music?
yeah.
Yeah, I certainly will participate in that. So
I got to read it.
And I got to think of something to write for Thursday. I'm behind schedule a little bit, but that's all right. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, we can all adjourn. And thank you for being here.
All right,
Thank,
Alan. Thank you. Take care.
thank you,
Take
Alan.
care.
Thank you, Denise.
All right.
Bye,
Take
Denise.
care, Ernie.
Bye bye.